for tuning into this workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, today we are going to be reviewing Stranger Skies by Pascal Lassalle. So this is the sequel to Curious Tides. And if you saw my Curious Tides review, you saw I had a little bit of mixed feelings about it because it wasn't always easy to follow. And the fable that broke up the story, it left a lot to be desired. Only because it was like really confusing at times. And I struggled a little bit with Emery's characterization. Let me just start by saying this book is so good. I love this book way more than Curious Tides. It was just so fluid, honestly. Another one of my biggest issues with Curious Tides was the pacing. It felt a little slow. It felt a little wonky at times. You know, I think Pascal is a great storyteller. I think there's something lyrical and very atmospheric about her storytelling. But the pacing wasn't always on point. Here, it was on point. And I think it's really funny because she actually has two additional point of views in this book. So, I'm reading this book. You have Emery, Baz, same ones from the book one, but now you have Romy, Baz's sister, and you have Kai, who I loved Kai in the first book. I don't think I spoke about him enough in the first book in my review, and I'm rectifying that right now, especially since he does have his own perspective, and I think that it's really well done. And I think that's why the pacing for the story is even more engaging, because now we have 4 different personalities, and it's just going bam, 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 and you're really getting involved, and you're really delving into these situations that our characters find themselves in. So, if you remember the end of book 1, Emery, she went through the door, she's looking for Romy, and she found Romy in the land of dreams, right? So the world between worlds. And this book starts with Aspen. And she is what you would call one of the keys. Now, they are found by Aspen in a completely different world. The Witchwood. And it's so cool. And now you have Baz and Kai, who find themselves thrown back in time. Remember, Baz is a time spinner, so he can rewind time. His goal is to go through the world in between to go after Emery, who he had a lifelong crush on, and Romy. But of course, situations happen, and he finds himself thrust back in time. And it's so interesting. There is lots of tension. There's lots of new romances. And thank God there's a new romance, because I never did think that Emery deserved Baz. I didn't. I really didn't think she deserved him, because she was only using him, you know, and she felt bad about it. But I think another reason why I just couldn't get behind her was because she seemed to almost lack a personality in that first book. She doesn't anymore, let me tell you that. But we'll come to that in a second. Baz has a new love interest. And this one is so much more deserving of him. And it made me so happy. I'm like, thank you. Thank the gods that Baz has his own love interest who is deserving of him and who loves him. And it's great to see that romance develop. It's great to see Baz like really come into himself, because in the first book he was very insecure because he's an eclipse-born, and eclipse-borns are generally just looked down upon in society, right? But now he's like really coming to terms with himself as an eclipse-born, as a time spinner. He's seeing just how powerful he really is. And it's so well done to see him really come into himself. And the same can be said for Emery as well. She is a tide caller, so she can use anyone's gift. She's not limited to just one. She's a special kind of eclipse born. And again, she always thought herself as the mediocre best friend to Romy, who was this exceptional dream walker, right? Turns out she's actually the one who's more powerful. She has all this power at her fingertips. She can do anything with it. Does she want to do good? Does she want to do evil? It's really a journey for her to discover the limits of her power and how to control it and how to be the best version of herself without letting people think ill of her, you know, or without letting people put her down. There we go. Let's rephrase it to that. Without letting people put her down and keep her in a box and use her for their own advantage. She's seeing that she's powerful and that she can probably save not just one world, but multiple. All she has to do is believe in herself. So it's more of a journey for her. And I liked her journey because I really do think her personality also gets to shine. There was only one character I didn't care for, and that's Romy. Oh my god, Romy. So self-righteous, and she's awful. I think she's awful to Emery. First, she comes off as kind of bitter and jealous, and then she's so mistrusting of everything Emery does. She's like, you're not a tide caller, you're a tide thief. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, girl, get off your high horse. You think you're so fabulous and magnificent, and you think Emery is the cause of everything bad. Well, that's not the case. She's kind of a bitch. I did not care for her. I'm hoping, given the events of this book and how it ended, that there will be lots of characterization and character growth for her. But as of right now, she's my least favorite character, and I didn't care for her at all. I just didn't. And again, you have that unique magic system as well, but there's more, because Emery and Romy are traveling to different worlds, so now they get to experience different magic systems. And I like how those magic systems are connected to their own lore, which is the same lore as the Drowned God saga. It's the same mythology, just with different names. And their magic systems mesh so well with the tide caller magic. You know, you've got the witchcraft, the draconians. It all works. They blend together really, really well and really effortlessly. And I love this layering of these multiple worlds. And I love the time traveling aspect and the multiverse aspect. I loved this book so much more than the first book. You know, the pacing was on point. It was easy to understand. It was fast paced. It did keep me engaged from beginning to end. There really was strong characterization and strong personality, really good character dynamics. It had everywhere the first book was lacking, in my opinion. This book delivered in droves. And that ending! I need book 3. And I need book 3 right now, because those plot twists and that last quarter were just like jaw-dropping. Absolutely jaw-dropping. So, in any case, I do have to give this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. It really was a great book. In any case, thank you all for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your book-loving friends. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.